I have attracted beautiful girls that has led me to have countless of girlfriends and dates. All of this was just because I focused on 3 looks maxing techniques, which I'm going to walk you through in this video. If you didn't know already, my name is Oliver and I help guys transform their looks so you can become the most attractive version of yourself. And if you didn't know already, the best way to do so is by building an aesthetic body. If you don't know how to build an aesthetic body, then I have just a solution for you. Just go down and click the top link in the description. All the details are there. So step number 1, is your physique actually important for the amount of attraction that you get from girls? So there's a quick story that I want to tell you. So from some years ago, when I was 14 years old, I actually never got any attention from girls because I looked shitty, skinny, weak, fragile, all of the bad traits that you can have. That's when I discovered the gym, and I actually found out that you could actually not just blame your genetics, because you could actually do something for your attractiveness, which was building an aesthetic physique. A few years into this journey, I actually started to get more attention from women. Not any sexual attention yet, because it wasn't such a great physique that I've built it, but more girls used to hold eye contact with me on the streets. So whenever I walked into a shop, I could actually hold eye contact with a girl and she would actually smile back at me. But something that truly changed was a few years after this point, which is basically where I am now, where I have built an aesthetic physique to the perfect amount of attractiveness. I have literally asked girls which physique they found the most attractive, where my physique was actually among the 5 pictures that I showed them. And can you guess what they said? They said that it was easy. It was literally my physique. None of the other physiques could even compare. And it wasn't just one girl that I asked this. I have asked countless of girls. I think around 5 or 6 girls. And literally every single one of those girls has literally typed that they found my physique the most attractive. And they didn't even know that it was me in the pictures, by the way. But instead of just speaking about my achievements, I actually want you to see the difference between these 2 pictures. Can you tell why this guy is not attractive and why I am attractive? Because usually you would think that, okay, then if I just build a bunch of muscle, then I will become the most attractive version of myself, right? I just need to get bigger. But why does this guy then not look that attractive? I even texted one of the girls that I know who literally has an hour-shaped glass, so literally the most attractive physique a woman can have. And she literally told me, yeah, you know what, it's actually not that attractive. The reason why she said that it wasn't attractive was literally because she said that she had too big lats. And in general, he was just too big. It looked like he was trying too much. Because the thing is, if you train your lats too much, which is basically the muscle that gives you the wings, if you've heard about that before, people will start thinking that you are trying too hard to look like somebody that you are not. Think about it, when you see some really big fucking bodybuilder, right? They almost look like they're carrying bread. That's basically a term that my parents came up with. They always tell me when I come to the gym, it's like, oh, you just want to look like the bodybuilders. They always look so ugly because they look like they're trying to carry bread, because it looks so unnatural. It doesn't look sexy and natural. So basically that's the 2 extreme side, but I have found it the perfect size, which is literally where you have muscles, but you're still lean and it's not too much. It doesn't look like I'm trying too much. You can see I'm perfectly natural here, and that's why the girls found me so irresistible. I literally was on a date from a few days ago, right? And me and this girl, we had a super good date. I paid for dinner for both of us, so we went out to, eat and all this. After which we went into the park and we walked around, we sat on a bench, then we talked a little bit about life and things which we were interested in. And all of a sudden we found a kind of bunker inside of the forest, and we actually went inside of there and we were actually making out. But the important thing wasn't just that we were making out, the important thing was what she said and what she did when we made out. Because when we made out, she literally grabbed me all over my body. But there was a few specific places that she placed her hand on me. And that was especially my chest, it was my abs. She literally grabbed her hand, put it under my shirt, and then she just rubbed on my abs and my stomach. So basically they really found the abs really attractive. But she also grabbed my arms, especially my bicep, not my fucking triceps of course, but just in general my shoulders, a little bit on the arms, then on my chest. She kind of touched everywhere, right? And then I asked her a question. I think it was So actually it started out with me telling her that I would love her to grow her glutes even more, because it was already a great part of her body, right? But I wanted it to grow more, so I told her that. And then I asked her, okay, since I've just asked a muscle that I want to for you to grow, then you can ask me which one you want me to grow. And she literally said, she didn't even hesitate, she literally just said, none. You will have a perfect body. That was literally what she said. And if you want to get girls like this as well, so you can make out in fucking a forest just like I've fucking done, or maybe you want more attention from girls in general, then I have the solution for you. You just need to go down and click the top link in the description. It's my program that I have. All the details are inside of there. Again, it's the top link in the description. So the next technique that I'm going to walk you through is how to change your skull. You've probably heard about mewing, all this normal shit, and you probably haven't even, like, it hasn't even worked for you. But that's because there's so many more different aspects and techniques inside of this. And that's exactly what I'm going to walk you through in this step. So I used to look like this, like literally a fucking unattractive guy. You can literally see my eyebrows, right? They were literally raised like this. It was like this all the time. So when I went throughout the day, I literally looked at people like this. Imagine how unattractive that is. Compared to now, I have much more this relaxed look in my eyes, which is basically what people nowadays call the hunter eyes. So the first step to getting more attractive is literally to get your muscle up in your eye area. I think it's called the brachialis or some shit like that. Something like that, right? The way that we train this muscle and why it's so important for us to train this muscle is because it helps our eyebrows to stay sharp, and it makes our eyes looks more relaxed, but also like kind of serious. Basically, it's so fucking attractive for girls when you look into her eyes, when you have this kind of eyes, right? So the way that we do this is literally just by taking our fingers. It can either be your middle finger or your this finger, and then you just grab outside of your eyebrows, so like at the end kind of, and then you go up, and then you can kind of feel like you have a muscle here. Then you just grab inside your muscle, twist it a little bit to the right, and then you squint your eyes. And then you just do this for as much as possible. You should feel your muscle being trained here. It should really be sore the first times that you do it. Even I still feel like it's sore. And I literally do this every single night. It's kind of a part of my night routine. When you have trained this for, I think, around a month or 2 months, that's when you begin to start seeing the results. But it's not just enough to train the muscles, because we also need to learn how to have this relaxed look. Because when you're used to looking like this all the time, it won't just be enough to train your eyes. You actually need to be able to control your eye area. The way that we do this is by doing some technique called UUDD, which basically means that we go upwards with our eyes, we look upwards, then we close our eyebrows, so like you can see what I'm doing, right? Then we just look down. So basically what it means is just doing this. Up with your eyebrows, look upwards, close your eyebrows, and then you just look ahead. You can see how my eyes looks way more relaxed now. You just need to spam this. When you spam this, you keep telling yourself and remind yourself, okay, be relaxed, have relaxed eyes. And that's how you train it, and that's how you get the hunter eyes. But that's just for the eye area. If you basically have a shit jawline, then you're basically fucking cooked. And that's exactly why we need to fix this. The way that we fix this is not just by mewing, because mewing is like, that's the bare fucking minimum. Basically mewing is just, you breathe through your nose and you have your tongue placed right above your palate. So basically your palate is the, maybe I can find a picture because it's kind of hard to show, but it's basically on the roof on your mouth. That's when you place your tongue and then you just relax. But that's, again, as I said, that's the bare fucking minimum. That's just the correct tongue posture to have. What we then now want to do to actually get the forward growth of your jawline, like you can see exactly like I have done. I've literally gotten this forward growth. The way that you do this is by doing something called hard mewing. So this basically means that we take our tongue and we press it upwards against our middle palate, like this. And then you just press as hard as humanly possible for as long as you can endure. The more times that you can do this throughout the day, the better. You will feel like a kind of strain, like I don't know where to explain it. It's kind of like in your head or some shit. Like you can just feel it like you're pushing your jaw forward. You can easily be able to tell it when you're doing it. Then another technique that you can do to get quicker forward growth for your jawline is actually by doing something called the prayer. So the prayer is where you take your hands like you're praying, then you place your thumbs underneath your chin, and then you resist it by going upwards, like you press upwards with your thumbs, and then you just try to resist with your jaw like this. You should be able to feel the burn on the lower side of your jaw here, and that's good because that means that you're working the muscles for getting that forward growth. The last tip that I'm gonna give with changing kind of your skull and your facial attractiveness is actually by getting rid of this stubborn fat that you have down here, or skin. But the way that we do this is actually by training something called the hyoid bone. The hyoid bone is what is responsible for your skin to begin to tighten up. And the way that we train our hyoid bone is by doing two different things. So first one is by doing curls, neck curls like this. The second thing that you can do is by doing something called kiss the sky, which is basically where you look upwards as much as you can, and then you try to kiss upwards, like kiss the sky, like this. When you do this enough times, you can also feel the strain in your hyoid bone down here. That is how you train those muscles, and that's exactly how you can become the most attractive. That's how I at least went from looking like this to this. And it has gotten me so many compliments, especially on dating apps, where people have reacted on my pictures saying, "Oh, handsome," or "Hey, you." They have literally even typed their Instagram on the reaction so I could basically follow them so we could type together, right? So basically the last thing that I want to tell you is don't lose hope just because you have bad genetics. I was born with bad genetics, but I never gave up. And because I never gave up, I literally increased my attractiveness. I literally went from getting zero attention from girls to now getting countless of attraction from women. And that's exactly why I want you to be able to go through the same progress as I did. And the way for you to get this progress the fastest is by going down and click subscribe so you can get these videos as much as possible, so you can learn as much as possible, implement as much as possible, and then get the same results as me. And that's why I will highly recommend you to subscribe to my channel. So step number 3, diet will literally save your skin. So there's a story that I want to tell you, or basically just a statement of fact. It is whenever I eat something unhealthy, so it could basically be fast food, it could be the fucking rainbow candy, you know my point, right? Whenever I eat something processed, basically something that isn't a natural food ingredient, I always get pimples the day afterwards. And it's not just some small pimples. I always get those fucking huge red ones that whenever you kind of touch it, you're fucking sore on that pimple, like that part of your skin, right? And it is always because I eat processed food. And whenever I don't eat processed food, my skin always begins to have this kind of glowing effect, and it just looks good. That is why if you have a lot of acne, I would highly recommend you to just start eating natural ingredient foods. The best way to know this is by if it's just a one ingredient food. So for example, meat, it's just one ingredient. There's no fucking colored or some shit, for example, candy, right? They put fucking colored tastement shit in the food so it can taste like strawberry, for example. For example, a candy that tastes like strawberry isn't strawberry that they have put it in. It's literally some fucking chemicals that makes it taste like strawberry. How fucked is that? And all of those chemicals will be expressed on your skin, which is basically why you get fucking pimples and maybe even cancer. So eat natural ingredient foods. The way that you can notice is just look at the ingredients list on the food. Look at the behind of the ingredients, and then you can just see if it's one or if it has more ingredients. And a quick tip that you can do, but does cost money, is actually to buy something called Tallow. Right now it's popping off on social media and I'm trying it myself now. I will get the product in like a few days, so I'll give you an update in like a month from now. But basically what it is, it's literally beef fat. So basically this should be really helpful for your skin because it's packed with all the vitamins and omega-3s and all this, vitamin A, E, D, all of these different things, which should really help your skin to get this more glowing effect. So it's just if you want to implement something right now that should help your skin as soon as possible. But if you don't know how to get all of these diet plans and it's too confusing, then again, I have just a solution for you so you don't have to do any of the work. I have literally laid all the work inside of my program. So if you want to have a look at it, go down and click the top link in the description. All the details are there. So I really hope that you got some value out of this video. I again really have taken a lot of time thinking, what is it really that made me transform my looks? And these was the tips that I could come up with. And that's why that for you to be able to get all of my experience and all of my tips so you can finally become attractive, so you can be the one making out in the woods with an attractive, beautiful girl. That's exactly why I want you to, or at least highly recommend you to subscribe to my channel so you can get my results as well. Go watch this video over here if you want to be one step closer to attracting more girls and becoming a step closer to getting a girlfriend. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day, bro. Mwah!